Three, three, two, one. We are live with my good friend and hypnotherapist and friend, Mr. Ian Anderson of Hypnotropia. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Awesome, man. I'm really excited.
I was going to jump in, but if you have some questions, let's start with those.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, Ian, I just want to say thank you for the awesome work that you've done in my life and also in many people's lives. And I'm really excited to, share your expertise and wisdom and healing powers with everyone listening that is all over the world right now. It's a really interesting time in life and history. And I'm really thankful to have people like you at the forefront and leading us into a really beautiful future.
Oh, well, thank you. It's, of course, an honor to be able to be a part of your life, your evolution, your progress, and that of everyone else in the world in general, in events like this, and individually in the one-on-one process that I do with people as well. It's healing and it supports my evolution as well, because we all learn from each other, we all support each other, and being able to be of service to humanity either on a one-to-one basis or in groups and with the human race in general is it's a gift, but I also think it's part of our mission here. It's part of the choice that we made to enter into this physical reality that we're all sharing, as strange as it seems to get at times.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, beautifully said. And so for some of us that are like listening and people that will hear this live or in the future, could you tell us a little bit about how you got into this type of work and then how that has helped you and helped others?
Yeah, I started to study and research altered states of consciousness back in, I guess probably 2000, 2001. It is also true for a lot of people. My first exposure to altered states of consciousness was through the psychedelic experience, and that experience, the initial experience, when I was 19, it kind of opened my mind and my ideas. I guess it showed me a lot of. It showed me that a lot of what I thought was true about myself and about the world and about the mind and all that was actually not true, or maybe only partially true, and that there was a lot more to know and a lot more to discover and a lot more that I could do, or that our consciousness could do, which is below the surface of our awareness, or something, I guess, along those lines. So I started to study and practice meditation, got into studying shamanism and mystery schools like alchemy, Kabbalah, stuff like that, and practicing it, and also sacred geometry, which is a really interesting kind of window into seeing how things are interrelated and interconnected in the universe, such as how patterns which are present in the way that the physical structure of reality manifests, I started to see how those patterns are also present in the way that our psyche manifests thoughts, in the way that certain drives or urges within us manifest or express themselves, such as the urge to create, or the urge to be creative, or the ability to recognize beauty, and how when we recognize beauty, it's not just that we're seeing something outside of us, but that it activates something within us that creates or initializes some kind of spiritual or internal experience that enlightens and uplifts us. So I started to look into those things, and started to get deeper into how consciousness interacts with the physical structure of reality, and it just interested me, and became something that I really wanted to be able to use to help people. I didn't just want to, find some job that would pay my bills. I had had enough of that by the time I was done with school, and really wanted to work with people in a way that would, be able to help me share what I know, and as well as my relationship with the unknown, to try and create some positive growth and change in the world, because we create it together, and
Totally.
we're either doing something or doing nothing, and if we're doing nothing, then we can't complain. So I just thought I'd try and do something. So I started studying hypnosis. After psychology in college, I started a program specifically focused on hypnosis, because I initially was interested in past life regression and that kind of spiritual journeying and stuff, which is kind of like what we do in shamanism in a way. So hypnosis and hypnotherapy is kind of like modern, in a sense, it's like modern shamanism without the folklore. So I like that, and I started my practice and never looked back. So here we are now. I've been in practice for eight going on 9 years.
Awesome, man. Well, beautifully said. And I like, for me, what I really love that you said is like, essentially how consciousness can bend reality, right? And how we can influence the future and the direction of everything, right? And so can you tell us a little bit about how hypnosis does that for people, and also the intention of the live hypnosis that we're going to do after that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we don't have any experience of the physical world without our consciousness playing a role. So the way I kind of describe it is which is something you'll probably hear me say during the meditation, is that we as perceiving, conscious, spiritual, creative beings that receive the energies, whether it's light and sound, or the textures and the colors and things that we sense, we receive that from the universe, and we then integrate it into an experience. And our thoughts and belief systems, they play a role. Other people's choices and our choices play a role in how our reality unfolds. But when it really comes down to it, each individual is the most important factor in how their experience unfolds. And we can only control our own our own choices and our own actions. We can't control other people's choices and other people's actions. So what we can control is our reactions to them, our responses to them, and how our thoughts about and our feelings about the reality that we're experiencing then influence what that means to us from that moment forward, right? And what we do from then. And then so it's kind of a feedback that goes on between us and the world around us, like a feedback cycle where I do something and the world around me responds to me, and then I respond to that. My thoughts about that are ongoing and always kind of moving through time in the present. And there is no getting out of that. So how I think about what I'm receiving influences how I experience it, and then it'll influence how you experience it too. And in hypnosis, if I explain a little bit about how hypnosis works, we have to think about the subconscious mind and all that it contains. It contains everything that's known to us. So it has these things that we call patterns, that we could think of kind of like continents or something on a map, or like city blocks on a map, right? They're there to make it so that we don't have to consciously analyze every single bit of information that we notice to make a decision, right? We can just kind of effortlessly and quickly navigate our way through the world And that happens because our mind is trying to keep us safe, and it knows that if we have to stop and think too much about certain things consciously, we might get eaten by a bear, right? If I have to think about, well, there's a bear there, should I run away, or should I see if it wants to shake my hand or something, right? No, we just react pretty quickly to things, and if there's a bear there, we're going to get out of the way so that we don't get eaten by it. And that's pretty much what our brain and our mind is doing constantly. It's receiving information and reacting to it, and the fight-flight state plays a big role in how we navigate through the world. And we were only meant to be in that state by nature, like maybe 30 seconds at a time. In the world that we're in now, because we're so overloaded and overwhelmed by things, we spend a lot of time in that state. And that state's really important because it's actually part of how the hypnotic state gets activated, because we have this barrier that exists over the subconscious mind. And it's kind of like the gatekeeper to our subconscious, and everything above it is conscious, everything below it is unconscious, and our mind is taking in information all the time. It fills up like a bathtub over that barrier, and when we go to sleep or when we go into certain states, that barrier opens. And one of the states that happens to open that barrier is when the conscious mind gets so overloaded with information that it can't deal with any more information, and so it goes into a state of abeyance where it kind of shuts down temporarily. And we've all had the experience when this happens, because hypnosis is entirely natural. And it's the state that we go into after a long day of work, when we're driving home and we realize that we've been driving and not really paying much conscious attention, but we still haven't crashed. And we haven't even drifted out of our lane, and our subconscious mind can handle a lot of these behaviors. And so during that time, your conscious mind is wandering and drifting, and that part of your mind that plays that barrier role, it's part conscious. So when the conscious mind shuts down or goes into that drifting state, that barrier does that too, and it kind of opens. It's not doing its job temporarily. And when we create that state in a controlled environment, we can control then the information that goes through that barrier and into the subconscious, which is the hypnotic state. So the conscious mind wants to escape from the overload of information, and where it escapes, where it flees from the fight-flight state, is that it flees into the hypnotic state, it flees into this trance state, where it starts to daydream and drift and wander. And it's a way of venting the overload of information. It's a way of reducing the overload temporarily so that we can deal with the world again. And so, we trigger that state in a controlled environment in a way that allows me as the hypnotherapist to flood the mind with certain intentional suggestions and visualizations and things like that, to bring your subconscious, which controls 88 to 98% of your experience, into alignment with what you consciously want out of life. So that's pretty much how it works.
Beautiful. And let's do it.
Right.
So what is, can you tell us a little bit about the intention of the hypnosis? I'm going to pull up a visual during the meditation.
Okay.
And can you also tell people the best way to, should we be sitting or like lying down and all that good stuff?
That's up to you. Depends on how you're comfortable. We'll be doing kind of a combination of group style hypnosis and meditation, because there are certain techniques, certain inductions that are more effective for individual work or in-person work, and certain ones that are more effective for group work with people who have never been hypnotized before. So the intention, or the focus generally, will be abundance. A more precise focus will be the abundance of all good things. And another maybe secondary focus might be the fact that in order to change certain things more powerfully, we can assist that process if we can accept the way things are first now. And in order to do that, it helps to be in a relaxed state and to just be honest with ourselves, because there are certain things that are actually really great and really wonderful and good about the world that we don't really give enough credit to, and we don't give enough credit to ourselves. We tend to focus on things that are going wrong a lot more. But if we can accept both the things that we like and the things that we don't, relax in the face of our frustrations or in the presence of our frustrations and all of that, then we can more easily align our thoughts, our words, and our actions to support the creative process that allows us to manifest the realities that we invite into our life. And we often block those realities because we either believe they're not possible, or we believe we don't deserve them. We believe we're not worthy of them, or we believe that, maybe money doesn't grow on trees or something like that. It's all part of our conditioning. So we can change our own conditioning, and it's just a matter of creating the right conditions for that to happen, which is what we're going to be doing today. So as far as your position goes, you can be sitting up. When we're talking about abundance, it's always nice to maybe have your hands in your lap like that, with your palms facing up, as if you're ready to receive. But you can also lay down. You can sit with your legs crossed. You can sit however you're comfortable, or lay however you're comfortable, as long as you're in a position where you can relax.
Got it. So either lying down or like hands.
Yeah.
Like in a relaxed upward state.
Relax on your lap, something like that, or even you can fold them however you're comfortable. The most important thing is that you can relax and just listen to the sound of my voice. You'll probably drift away at some point, and that's fine. You don't have to listen to every word that I'm saying. Your subconscious mind will be paying attention to everything, because that's what it's always doing. So.
Awesome.
All right. So one of the things that I can control is how loud other people close doors here in the Hypnotropia building. So if you do hear me kind of cutting out at any point, it might be because I've just hit the mute button on the mic. I will do my best to control any background noises as well as I can, but we'll also just integrate them into the process, because background sound is part of the world that we live in. So.
Awesome.
All right,
beautiful. So I'll pull this up and let's do it.
All right. So first, we're just going to start by getting into a comfortable position. And just feeling throughout your body for a moment. You can keep your eyes open for now. Just notice if there's any repositioning that you need to do to make yourself very comfortable, to settle in for the duration of this process. First, we're going to start by, with your eyes open, just taking a look around. Whether you're in a room or sitting outside somewhere, just take a look at your surroundings. And just notice 4 things that draw your attention. Doesn't matter what they are. It can be any 4 things. When you notice those 4 things, just hold them in your attention for a moment or two. You can look from one to the other, or you can keep them all in your field of vision at the same time. As you notice those 4 things, just take a nice deep breath. And then release one of them from your attention and just focus on 3 of them. 3 things, doesn't matter what they are. Now, release another one from your attention and focus on 2 of those things. Any 2. Now put all of your attention on just one. Really focus on that one thing. With another deep, cleansing, full breath, on the exhale now, you can allow your eyes to close and turn your attention within. And as you turn your attention within, we'll be going deeper and deeper, but first, just use your ears to notice what you can notice, any 4 sounds, whether it's sounds coming through your speakers or background sounds in your surroundings. Any 4 sounds, or even 4 qualities of sound, like a quality in the sound of my voice. Any 4 sounds. When you have 4, you've noticed 4 sounds, just focus on 3. You can even focus on 3 new sounds. It's up to you. Now notice 2 sounds and just focus on 2. Doesn't matter what they are. This is just helping us to become present and relaxed. And then release 1 and focus on 1 sound, any 1 sound. In any way that makes sense to you, put all of your attention on that 1 sound. We're going to take another deep, cleansing breath. And you can release that sound from your attention now. Bring your attention into your mind's eye now. And this time, recall 4 pleasant sights that you've seen. Maybe face, the smile of someone that you care about, a place that you've been, maybe a favorite pet or animal or work of art. Any 4 sights that you've seen, pleasant and positive sights. When you focused on those 4, release 1 and focus on 3. Now 2. Now 1. Another deep breath. And clear your mind on the exhale. Now we're going to bring your attention to your memory of sound. Recall 4 pleasant sounds that you've heard. Sounds that you like to hear. Maybe laughter of your children. Sound of rain. Favorite song. Any 4 sounds. Now focus on 3 of them. Now focus on 2. And focus on just 1 of those sounds. And another deep breath in. And release that awareness from your mind. Bring your attention into your body now. Just take a moment to recognize any 4 pleasant physical sensations. Feeling of tension being released from 4 parts of your body, or the gentle rising and falling of your breath as you breathe in and out. Any 4 pleasant physical sensations. And when you've noticed 4, release 1, focus on 3. Now 2. Now focus on 1 pleasant physical sensation. Just begin to visualize or imagine that as you relax deeper into that sensation, that it begins to expand and spread throughout the rest of your body. You may notice that as this begins to happen and then continues, your conscious mind will begin to drift and wander a bit. This is very normal and natural. You can just allow it to happen in just the right way. You might notice that some random but pleasant thoughts will also drift through your awareness from time to time. You can just allow that to happen spontaneously and without judgment. And every muscle in your body will begin to relax even more deeply. The breathing will find its normal and natural rhythm. And there may be times where it seems like you hear my voice very clearly, like I'm speaking to you from somewhere near. And other times it might seem like I'm further away, and sometimes you might not even hear me at all. However that unfolds, just allow it to unfold. You have the wisdom to know just the right time to pay close attention and when you can relax and drift away. Just trust the process and trust yourself. You have everything that you need to be able to do this. In fact, you cannot do it incorrectly. All you have to do is breathe and relax. Just breathe. Imagine what it would be like if every muscle in your body in just the right state of balance relative to every other muscle. Or every cell in your body. We're able to find a state of balanced harmony with every other cell. Notice the difference between the inhale and the exhale. You begin to imagine breathing in all the realities that you invite into your life, and breathing out and letting go. Many of the frustrations, any perceived or believed in limitations. Just breathing them out and letting them go because you don't need them. They don't serve you in any positive way. And your mind does work for you. So sometimes we need to show our mind what we need and want and expect from it. Visualization, focused intention, speaks the language of the subconscious, the language of symbol, feeling. Throughout this process, you'll be focusing all of your resources, known and unknown, familiar and unfamiliar, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, all of your resources toward your highest good, And the highest good is the type of good that doesn't require anyone else to lose for you to win. And in the universe that we live in, the universe that we're all perceiving and creating together, everything is abundant. There's an abundance of energy, an abundance of raw materials, an abundance of inspiration and beauty and light. We recognize and appreciate that abundance, give ourselves the permission to enjoy it. We can then recognize the fact that since the universe is abundant in everything, we are really unlimited in what we can do and what we can create, because it takes everything to create everything else. For most of us, whether it was when we were children or some other time in life, we've been told that some part of our experience was just in our imagination. There was a dream or something that we saw, and that really limited and discounted the power of our imagination. We're going to use the imagination today in a very powerful way, because the imagination is actually one of our most powerful resources. Because everything that exists in the universe that we know of, that wasn't given to us by nature, whether it's technology or any works of art, stories, songs, no matter what it is, it all began in someone's imagination at some time, or ever was brought into existence. Your imagination is not limited in the way that our thoughts might be. Because even if we believe or think that we know that something is impossible, we can still imagine it happening. And that's what allows us to take an idea, something that we're inspired to create or do, which has never been done before, and actually make it happen, and to make it real, to make it something that's shareable, that we can give to others or share with others or show others, or to create multiple versions of. We do this with everything. We do it in our dreams. We do it in our waking life. We do it in conversations, and we do it at work. We do it in our relationships, because every relationship is unique. And in fact, this is something that the universe is always doing itself as well. Because in the same way that we use the laws of nature, the laws of chemistry and physics, electronics and electricity, and the forces that are here for us to be able to manipulate, the way we use them to create new realities, new objects, new works of art, new ideas, those same forces are the forces that the universe uses to create new life, to create you. In fact, every one of you is a unique and infinitely unique expression of those universal laws. And each one of you is an example of the infinity, the infinite forms that those expressions can take. Each one of you is infinitely unique, and that throughout the history of the universe, billions of years and throughout the entire future of the universe, no one just like you has ever existed before or will ever exist in just the same way that you do. You do what you do the way that you do it, and no one else does. And that's a really beautiful thing that you should just take a moment to recognize and give yourself the credit for. Because you and your gifts, your strengths, your imagination, the way you love and the way you speak and the way you think and the way you feel it's a gift. Not only a gift for you, but it's a gift for the world. The more you relax now, the more you might be able to just imagine what it would be like if you were able to just forgive and let go. Completely let go and release any of the old limitations, the old belief systems that have convinced you to limit yourself, to hide yourself, or to settle for less than what you truly deserve, settle for less than what you're truly capable of. To let go of the expectation for, the desire for, the need for perfection, which is something that none of us have ever seen in anyone. Which is also something that itself would be a limitation, because in perfection nothing can change. And the fact that imperfection is inherent in everything in the universe is the thing that allows everything else to be unique. It's what allows you to be unique and allows every grain of sand to be unique and every flower to be unique from every other. It's what allows every moment to be unique from every other moment, and why this moment is such a unique moment in your life. And letting go of that expectation or that need allows you then to also let go of the judgment on yourselves or others for not being perfect. It allows you to focus on one really important thing, which is that abundance and success that we talked about in the beginning of this session here. Because we're not only talking about abundance of money or abundance of things, we're talking about abundance of all good things. Abundance of joy, abundance of freedom, abundance of health and strength, and abundance of inspiration and creativity, abundance of energy and life. True success is not qualified or indicated by anything outside of you. True success is knowing, really truly knowing, that the life that you're living and the face that you show the world is the fullest, truest expression of who you are. And that when your thoughts, feelings, words, and actions are aligned in truth and focused in the same direction, that's when you're most powerful. That's when you're most able to express the truth of who you are, and to do it without resistance, without fear of judgment, without judging yourself. Who you are is an infinitely unique expression of the beauty, the creativity, the love and wonder and balance of this universe, and all the different ways that they can interact with each other. They interact within you. In fact, you are the alchemical being that gives the universe meaning. You are the entity that receives the light around you, the energy around you, and integrates it into an experience. And there is no universe without that. So there you are. If you bring your attention into your mind's eye again and just breathe into it, breathe into your heart. Give yourself the love that you deserve. This is a changing world, but that's always been true. This is a world going through a death rebirth process, and that's always been true too. It's always been true that there are things that we can't control and things that we can. And in this process of growth and transformation, we're all experiencing a shifting of priorities. Many of us are realizing the things that we've been taking for granted, things that we valued but haven't given ourselves the permission to enjoy the way we should, the way we know we should, and the way we actually truly want to. And that's changing. That's changing now because you're taking this time to give yourself that permission and to realign with your highest good and what you know is truly important to you. And doing it not only for yourself, but for the people that you love, and for the people that you know, and for the people that you don't know, and for the planet Earth as well. Because who are we without it? And everything that you hear, everything that you see, every word that you speak, every thought that you think, every step that you take, every decision that you make, every single thing that you do and feel, think and say is part of a creative process. It's part of the work of art, the masterpiece that is your life. The story that you author as you live it, the work of art that you create as you experience it. And that image, that reality is moving toward a higher level of honesty, a higher level of truth, a higher level of wealth, a higher level of alignment and balance. And sometimes, in order to get from a less than highest good situation to a highest good situation or a higher good situation, sometimes we have to experience some discomfort. Sometimes we have to experience some friction and resistance. That's the nature of change. And the more relaxed you are and the more adaptable you are in that process, the more successful you will be. So relaxing not only your body, but also your belief systems to allow you and the choices you make to influence the formation of your belief systems instead of your belief systems influencing your experience of the world. Because your previously formed belief systems, they come from the old world. They come from 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago or 5 decades ago, but wherever they come from a past that doesn't need to dictate your present. You dictate your present. You are the most powerful factor that determines your experience and how your reality unfolds And that's always been true, and it always will be true. Other people's choices can affect you, but how you react to those choices will determine whether those initial results last into the future. Whether you keep recreating negatives or positives, or whether you let go of the negatives. What you focus on and how you think about it determines the direction that you go in and the kind of energy that your day has. The tension with which you respond to something, or the relaxation and open-heartedness with which you respond. These things and more are all moving in a much more positive direction, even in a world where there are many unknowns. Because in this universe, there are always going to be unknowns. So what would it be like if you began to form a relationship with the unknown in its most giving and generous form? Because the unknown is not only the source of things to be concerned about. Keep in mind that the unknown is also the source of every new friend that you've ever made, every new opportunity that ever presented itself to you, every new and exciting and wonderful thing that ever came into your life came from the unknown. Nothing new and exciting ever came from our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is where we put all the new and exciting things that the unknown gives us. And they're no longer new because they're familiar to us. And so what adaptability means in this process of change is the ability to take a challenge and turn it into an opportunity. And to do it in a way which is good for you and good for everyone involved and good for the world. And you have the wisdom and knowledge, experience, you have the goodwill, you have the time and energy and the presence to be able to do that. So just allow your mind for a moment to generate an image, a symbol. Generate something, a feeling that represents a new, more loving, more open, more giving relationship with the unknown. The unknown responds to you. It's like a blank canvas or a lump of clay. It only makes itself known to you in response to how you make yourself known to it, the way that you imprint it with your thoughts, with your choices, and with your words. Your mind reaches out and imprints the unknown, and then it responds to you. So how do you want to imprint the unknown from now on? What imprint do you want to put on that blank canvas or that lump of clay? An imprint of love? An imprint of hope? Or the old imprint of fear and suspicion? No one wants that anymore. That has no place in the new world that we're creating together. This is a world now of mutual respect and love and care for the natural world. Balance, grace, a world of freedom and a world of self-control. That's how we create balance. A world of dialing back the things that we know have done damage and dialing up the things that we know can address it and fix it. and that we're all working together in this because we know that each one of us is important. Each one of you has an important place in this universe. In fact, the universe wouldn't be what it is without you in it. So reach out into the unknown with your imagination right now and give it the kind of imprint that you want to give it, because that's going to determine how it makes itself known to you from this moment forward. We're all aligned in this now. Our consciousness is exponentially more powerful when we're aligned. We're all working together, creating a net, a web of intention around this planet. And with that web of energy and consciousness, we're sending love and the invitation for all good things now to flow into our experience, into our realities, so that we can share it all with each other. There is enough. There's more than enough for everyone to have their highest good without anyone having to sacrifice their dignity, their happiness, or their lives. And you have everything that you need to be able to create the reality that you deserve, and for it to be limitless in its positivity, limitless in its abundance, and limitless in its ability to support your growth and the growth of those around you, and to do it all in the best way possible and in the best timing possible. We don't need to know how everything works. All we need to know is that it works. And we know that giving love, sharing it, we know that honesty and truth, we know that freedom and focused positive intention and interacting with each other with respect, we know that these things create good results. And we know that the world that we're creating now needs more of that. And you right now, doing what you're doing, listening to the sound of my voice, reaching out to the unknown with faith, you're taking the first step among many on this journey, which is going to reshape the world that you live in, the world that we all live in, for the better. So imagine now that abundance flowing back toward you, because you are at the center of a flow, of a movement, a constant flow of cosmic forces and energies. They flow toward you from all directions. Light, energy, it flows toward you from all directions, and you use it to create. So after today, you're going to remember that everything that you do is creative. Everything that you do can be done in an artful, in a present and loving, in an intentional and deliberate, purposeful and positive way. And that the world, the life that we are all creating together is that work of art. The story changes for the better now, and there is no limit to what you can do. So imagine now breathing in all that energy, the light, the abundance, the flow, coming toward you, and filling your body with it, filling your being with it, even filling the air around you with it. Focusing your attention in your heart. Breathe into it and begin to just send back out in all directions a loving kind of signal, a loving energy, an expanding sphere that first expands to encircle you, and continues to expand. Take in the whole room, all the space around you, everything within it receives that love that you're sending. You can think about someone or something that you have unconditional love for. Send that energy to everything, everyone. Expand that sphere larger and larger until the town, the city, until the country that you're in is surrounded, protected by that field of love. Expand it further. Keep expanding it until the whole planet is within it. Send it out even further. There are no limits. Send that love, reach it out, expand it out until the whole solar system, the whole galaxy, until the whole universe is within it. Send it to everything known, everything unknown, and let it influence the future that unfolds. Send it out. Keep sending it. Let it influence everything. Let it be felt and known. Let it be absorbed by everything that exists. The known and the unknown universe respond to you based on that signal. And then just relax even more deeply. Calm and comfortable. Easy and effortless now. That's right. Let that image become known to your mind. Let every positive and empowering thought, suggestion, idea, and image from this session become known to your mind as important, as chosen by you, as something that you willed. It is your will that directs your mind. It shows your mind what its job is, what to work for, what to create. Now that you've relaxed and let go of any frustrations or overload, having let go of the need, the desire, the expectation for perfection, which causes us to judge ourselves and everyone. Then you can also let go of that tension, the overwhelm, which has caused so many of us to settle for mediocrity on a daily basis. And instead, focus on doing the best that we can with what we have to work with every single day, every moment. Just simply doing the best that we can with what we have to work. That's with the energy that we have to work with, the time that we have to work with, the resources that we have to work with, and that abundance growing all the time as we continue to express who we are more fully, the best that we can, every single day. It all begins to grow and expand more. And as you do, you just continue doing your best, being the best that you can be, being the truest version of yourself that you can be every single day. And recognizing that the truest version of you and the best version of you, they are the same. And when you live like that, the current version of you is also the best version of you, and the person that you are now and the person that you are becoming are both the best and truest versions of yourself. Because you are always evolving and growing. You are always learning. And when you come out of this process in a moment, you come out feeling lighter, feeling more capable, feeling more accepting of yourself, feeling more determined to do good and to do it well. Now, if you were to just imagine what it would be like to really anchor in at the deepest possible level, that invitation to the unknown, for that new, more loving relationship, for it to really become part of you at your core. You might get a sense of where in your body or where in your being that connection to the unknown can be found. As I count down from 5 to 0, really focus in on where you feel that connection belongs. Maybe it's in your mind's eye, maybe it's in your heart, maybe it's somewhere else. Maybe it's a whole being kind of connection. Really focus on bringing it in any way that seems appropriate or meaningful to you. You're the one who gives meaning to the world, the universe that you experience. So focus on that with 5. Really breathe it in and anchor that energy into yourself with 4. 3. Invite it in. Breathe it in. Ground it into your being with 2. Become one with it. And take a deep breath in and release any resistance to it at 0. Relax even more deeply. 0 resistance, 0 limitation. Just letting it all go. Anything that doesn't serve you, your mind is working for you to resolve. Clear it out and release it. Don't be surprised if tomorrow morning or the morning after you wake up remembering clear, vivid dreams. This is what happens when you introduce a new reality to your mind and it begins to make space for it because it serves you in a positive way. And anything that you no longer need, your mind is going to clear out, make space to vent it and release it so that you can continue doing the work that you're here to do. Because you are here for greatness. And you are a blessing, a gift to this world. So as I count up now from 0 to 5, you can prepare in a moment at 5 to open your eyes, but for now, take another deep breath in at 0, and just relax a little bit more deeply. Open your heart, open your mind, open yourself to just being yourself. It's what you're here to be. You don't have to be anything but the true you. For you to have that limitless abundance, that success, that growth, that purpose. You are you for a reason. So at 1, own it. At 2, coming up a little bit lighter now, calm and comfortable, centered at 3. 4 is very grounded and present, open and inspired. And at 5, you can open your eyes, take another deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, coming all the way up to a fully awake, aware, conscious state. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, calm and relaxed, present and at ease, and ready to go out and create the new world of abundance, growth, wisdom, love. And you are ready. You've always been ready.